World War Z may have cured my depression while simultaneously making me incredibly sad. Full disclosure, this video is sponsored by Saber Interact. However, I want you to know that I was already booting this game up with the plan to play as Negan just so I can recreate everyone's favorite scene. But the thoughts in this video are still my own, and I do have some thoughts. Because this shit is wild. But first, we need some much needed context about my own personal history with this game. But if you don't really give a shit about a Hobbit talking about the history of World War Z itself, and you just want to see the Walking Dead DLC expansion, I get it. Go ahead. Jump to that time code right there. That's where I start my, official DLC review of The Walking Dead. But I'm not responsible for any psychological damage that may occur if you so jump to that. When I played World War Z back in 2020, I remember having this feeling of euphoria. Why? Because my head is full of lizards. What I mean when I say that is, imagine you're a middle school boy and you just had the greatest summer of your entire life because you just watched Angelina Jolie play Lara Croft and it altered your brain chemistry forever, and furthermore, you played and fucking loved Left 4 Dead 2, one of the greatest zombie games to ever come out. Naturally, you wait for this masterpiece to complete its trilogy. And you wait. And you wait. And you get bitter. Because the motherfucker never comes out. In fact, after I heard about a so-called spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead known as Back 4 Blood down the pipeline, I started to have a little drop of hope flood my system. The same dev team that worked on Left 4 Dead is now in charge of a brand new IP that's basically just Left 4 Dead 3. Color me tickled and horny. All for it to not match a single expectation I had, and now I want to peel my skin off. But right when all hope is lost, you see a possible savior on the horizon. A zombie game based off the admittedly stupid but fun as hell movie World War Z, which is not based off the amazing book, and yes, I am still very upset about that. Anyway, what's funny is that I had known about this game for a long time, but never played it. And to make things worse, I remember watching the World War Z movie, seeing the zombies climb over one another, and the first thought I had when I left the theater was, a decent film, but hot damn, imagine if it was a game. It is a game, you fuckstick. You can play it right now. Okay. Dumbass. Okay. What the fuck are we talking about? Even though your heart has been broken so many times and you have accepted the fact that you'll never get a game like Left 4 Dead, you give it a shot. And after one mission, you start crying. World War Z gave me that fix I had been looking for like a decade. And in some ways, now don't kill me for saying this, it improves upon its grandfather in many aspects. I know. We'll just watch the rest of the video. All right? Come on, keep on trugging on that retention. I need it. Watching the massive horde blast its way toward you, all while knowing you and your friends have to use almost every single bullet to take it down, is so damn fun. Not only because the core mechanics of the game are fun itself, but because they expertly built up the suspension before you even encounter the onslaught. But despite having an absolute blast playing this game and man-giggling all the way through, I lost contact with this game. I don't really know why. Things just moved on, and Project Zomboid finally let multiplayer into Build 42, and I just kind of abandoned it a little bit. And I always felt a little weird about that because I truly loved my time playing it. But then, something fucking incredible happened. I saw an announcement that this game was going to let you play as characters from The Walking Dead. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. Now, this is a collaboration that makes sense. In today's world, we can see Nicki Minaj throw Homelander into the fucking moon, and at this point, we all just kind of accept it. But in World War Z, I'm surprised this wasn't done sooner. I was incredibly curious to see some of my favorite characters be placed into this world that I had grown to love. Mainly, I wanted to see if the characters would shit bricks the moment they see the zombies turn into fucking insects. Coral, they're not supposed to run. And they're also not supposed to behave like bugs. But more importantly, I need to talk about the core game of World War Z. I promise I'm gonna talk about the collab, because they paid me to, so I'm I'm definitely going to. But I feel like despite this game still having a healthy player base and a really enjoyable and fun as hell gameplay loop, I don't see it getting talked about nearly enough, which is kind of baffling to me because this game nails the cardinal golden rule that a zombie game needs to have in order for that said game to be good. Am I rambling? Well, I'll tell you what I mean. You see, the only question I need answered when it comes to playing a zombie game is, do I giggle when I kill zombies? And I gotta say, above all else, I am giggling. We can talk about the atmosphere and visual fidelity all we want, but are we some kind of fucking intellectual? I know damn well we didn't buy a game called World War Z for the commentary on capitalism, which if you read the book, it is a commentary on capitalism. So, full circle moment, actually. We saw those massive fucking hordes that rival that of Days Gone, and we all said, I need that. I need that now. Prepping for a horde as you lay the groundwork through meticulously placing proper defenses down, all while your heart is racing because you know at the end of that timer, there's going to be a shitstorm brewing. All of that really tickled the inner child in me. Oh, bad. Then for the climax to be a literal zombie tsunami barreling its way at you, oh, chef's kiss. Do you like that little thing? This little effect? I'm getting pretty good at editing. I cannot describe how fun it is to kill zombies in this game. Every little tick and splatter sound you make when you pop one of their heads is so satisfying, and getting to do that at a scale of like 1,000 made me jitter. And I don't feel comfortable sharing any more details at this time. But another major aspect to this game's fun factor was the familiar feeling that Left 4 Dead had in one major aspect. The ragdoll effects and the blood, baby. I should see a shrink. Also, hey, pay the fuck attention. I better not be playing in the background while you play Minecraft or some shit. You should be taking notes, because there will be a quiz later. I'm not even kidding. I hope you've been paying attention to the entire video. I love seeing zombies just go flying to the moon as I blast them with a rocket launcher, and I love seeing actual dismemberment in regards to the areas I am actually shooting them in. And if my mother heard that sentence out loud, she would be scared. This game has mastered its own dopamine feedback loop, but more importantly, it knows what you, the customer, came here for. I feel like I glossed over the actual level design and jumped straight to the finale, which is not good writing on my part, but this is also not a good video. But each level had a really unique flair to it. That is important because while the final stand of each level is really awesome, it can dip its toe in the land of really being repetitive. Words are hard and I'm tired. So to have one level where you are making your way down a massive building to then be thrown into a level where zombies are raining down on you made me never want to drop the controller. The devs in this game have their finger on the pulse. They know that you saw the movie and wanted to experience every scene that movie had to offer. Well, not every scene. Circling back to the raining zombies part, I remember sitting in theaters and watching these zombies climb over the wall of Jerusalem. And if you're wanting a political joke about Israel, I literally can't. And I was thinking, well, that scene doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but holy shit, do I want that in a game like fucking immediately. And sure as shit, here it is. Now, you should know something about me. I love the World War Z book, as I've stated maybe 3 times now in this video. I feel like I talk about it in almost every zombie video I make, but the book is one of my all-time favorite novels to read. But I had no expectation that the game that was based off the movie would even reference the book, because the movie didn't even bother with that. But to my surprise, while you don't need to read the book to understand what's going on, you are rewarded for reading it. There are a few references that made me happy, and I could tell that the devs love every aspect of this IP, not just the film. For example, during the New York level, you and other 3 survivors are attempting to flee, all while you get word that the US military is luring the zombies away from Manhattan. And if you hadn't read the book, this is a clear reference to the chapter Battle at Yonkers. Battle of Yonkers? Battle Yonkers? Yonkers. I'm a fucking walking paradox. Which is maybe the best chapter in the whole book. So to hear that over the radio, I was like, hang on. Are they trying to tie in both universes? Because that's impossible. Sorry, I'm getting off track. You didn't come here for a book review. And full disclosure, I said read. I meant listen to an audiobook version of the novel. But something tells me you already knew that. Much of my audience has no idea what I'm even talking about, but hey, now you know how I feel all the time. Also, quiz time, bitch. At what point in the video did a lizard crawl across the screen? You thought I was kidding? Oh no, this means everything to me. Now, let's get to what you actually came here for. But hang on. Some people skipped ahead to this point at that timestamp I gave them, and it's coming up here. So I apologize for any psychological damage I may inflict upon you.
Don't you wish you didn't skip ahead?
Is playing as Ricky Dicky Doodog Rhymes in an actual zombie game that isn't dog shit fun as hell? Yes. Did I play him maybe a few times before moving on to Negan? Yes. What I really liked about playing as these characters was, if I were to criticize World War Z, the characters in this game, aside from the DLC, are kind of a bunch of nothing burgers. Now, I will cut the writers of the game some slack, because if we compare them to Left 4 Dead, it's just not even fair. In Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, we get to spend the entire game with the same set of 4 characters. Here in World War Z, we jump around a bit because the whole game takes place over the world War Z. So we don't get to marinate with the characters we start the game with, to the point where if you hit quick play like a madman, there's a 90% chance that you will have no idea who these characters are, and they just don't get enough time to make an impact. So getting to play as characters we have watched for 11 seasons and some spin-offs, dear God, just let it die. It helps a lot. And I gotta say, when they adapted them into this game, they were handled with extreme care. Some of the little quips in here and the dialogue exchange between characters really did engage my brain. But again, my mind is full of lizards, so the bar is kind of low. It's at this point in the video that I should remind you that I liked Season 2 of The Last of Us. Nah, it's too late. Too late in the video for you to leave. That's why I saved that little nugget till the end. You gotta stay. You gotta stay. Now, earlier, I talked about how I really appreciated the dev team of this game incorporating both lore of the book and the movie. They did the same thing here with this DLC in a very interesting way. They actually made the zombies canonical, for the most part. Zombies in this DLC are slow shamblers, and they come in massive waves, and you actually feel like you are in the show. This was incredibly pleasing to me because the devs here almost created an entirely new game just to respect the source material. This is heard of almost nowhere. Not only is this just awesome on their part, but it breaks up the monotony and really switches up the formula this game has operated on since the beginning. Despite the walkers being far slower than what we are all used to from this game, shit was still heart-pounding and scary. Turning around to check a corner only to be confronted by the largest horde you have ever seen slowly make its way at you did make my hair turn gray. Also, to sidetrack a little bit, and if I'm sidetracking too much, hot damn, the level of detail in this expansion is amazing. Playing through several major key points of the show really brought me down memory lane. Going through the prison, Alexandria, and good old ATL, baby, really did make the level design taste that much sweeter. Am I glazing this game a bit too much? Maybe. But I really felt like this was one of the best Walking Dead games I have played in a long time. I said one of. I didn't say the. All right. No, I am not having an affair. And no, I have not played Saints and Sinners because VR makes me sick. It was also so satisfying to hear Andrew Lincoln and Norman Reedus reprise their role for this game. You can tell they were just having fun in the recording booth and saying their lines with a lot of playful energy, and that really did translate to you, the player, having fun playing as them. Now, since I was paid to make this video, I won't say too much about the voice actors for Negan and Michonne. They just sound different. One sounds tired, and the other sounds like Captain Levi.
Ooh, I am so turned on right now.
Looks like the big guy's a coward. Not that he ever had any balls.
But still, I was able to suspend my disbelief because the voice actor here is still funny and carries the energy of Negan, and also, I like Captain Levi. My biggest critique of this expansion is I just wanted more. The 3 chapters we get here are so damn fun, and I just wanted to keep going. There's a lot to offer here, especially for the price of $9.99. I think that's quite a steal. But to be honest, for $10, there is a lot of content to offer here nonetheless. You get Negan's dead wife in the form of a baseball bat known as Lucille, and Michonne's just regular katana. Both of these are new melee weapons to the game. But you also get 2 new skins. You get Daryl's crossbow and Rick Grimes' python, baby. His sweet, sweet revolver. Ooh. I need it. But how cool would it have been to play through Woodbury or Terminus? I know I'm asking a lot, and my contract is getting anxious, so I won't linger on this too much, but I hope we get to see a part 2 of this expansion, because I had a lot of fun. And I think you're going to enjoy it. I think you can't go wrong with this expansion. If you like World War Z and you like The Walking Dead, I don't know what you're still doing here. I don't know why you're still looking for my opinion. Once again, thank you to Saber Interactive for sponsoring this video, because holy shit. And also, thank you to the dev team for putting a lot of respect and time towards the Walking Dead IP. This shit rocks. And I have nothing else to add. Is anyone still here at the end? If so, are you hoping for some kind of funny bit? Some little Easter egg at the end? Okay? It's not going to happen. I'm not a child.